Co-moderator for this Congressional Forum, please welcome Tiffany Ackley.
Thank you, Beth. I get the pleasure of announcing and introducing the candidates, all of whom I consider friends. We are introducing them in alphabetical order. So I am going to start with Dr. Hans Kierstead. Would you please come on up? Michael Kotick. Laura Oatman. Rachel Payne. Boyd Roberts. Harley Ruda. Omar Siddiqui. And Tony Zarkadis. I'd just like to point out we have 8 amazing candidates, and can we give them all a round of applause because they are helping to flip Orange County. Before we get started, we'd also ask you to rise to do the Pledge of Allegiance. You can see that we've got the flag projected up there. Please place your hands over your heart. If you are military, please feel free to salute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As Beth said, we are going to start with something that we came up with called a lightning round. We went around the public and solicited a bunch of questions and waded through dozens upon dozens and found that many of them covered the same topics. It could be easily answered in a yes or a no. We tried to consolidate this forum into some of those issues, and so with this lightning round, I am going to ask 8 questions. Each question is a yes or no question. The candidates are not invited to respond verbally. Instead, they will simply raise their hand if they agree with what I say. Can you tell I'm a litigator? All right. If you support single-payer health care, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand if you support a woman's unfettered right to control her own reproductive health and choices. And, this is the and part, and if you support the use of federal funding for Planned Parenthood. Please raise your hand if you support LGBTQ+ rights, including marriage equality and gender identity protections. If you believe in climate science and consider climate change a global threat, and you believe it should be a national priority, please raise your hand. If you support tougher gun control, please raise your hand. This one's personal. Please raise your hand if you support restoring net neutrality. Net neutrality. Please raise your hand if you support a Clean Dream Act for DACA recipients. Finally, please raise your hand if you are going to be willing to endorse the Democratic candidate who wins the primary in June. That's how we do it. And now I'm going to pass it over to Beth for some of the more difficult questions.